Hello and welcome once more to Red Gaming Tech. My name is Amata. Today is the 8th of January and this time I'm bringing you something a little bit different from Frictional Games, as they have spoken on the highly anticipated SOMA, which of course is their next horror title coming out sometime this year. Now basically the developer is hoping that SOMA will introduce gamers to a new kind of fear. And basically, we have some comments from the Frictional Games lead, Thomas Grip, who said that SOMA will apparently be a different kind of horror experience than, say, Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Now, he said, quote, "I really hope that people will feel it is a fresh experience. There have been so many games now where we're just running away from monsters. I think a lot of players are getting desensitized to that. So our goal is for SOMA to feel like a revitalization of the horror genre, just as Amnesia did. Will it be as scary? I do think so. Not just in the same primal run and hide in closets fashion that Amnesia invoked, but a more deeper, more psychological and gut-chilling level." Now, of course, Amnesia itself was quite different from what was at the time the fairly standard horror experience, and to be honest, Amnesia came along when it was sorely needed. Horror had kind of, well, not done anything interesting for a while. AAA wasn't really horror, it was more an action game where monsters occasionally went boo from cupboards or whatever. So Amnesia was a much needed breath of horrifying air. And basically, it seems like SOMA is going to be once again unlike those found elsewhere, particularly the monsters will be unique. And he said, quote, "The monsters are not really enemies in the sense they are in a game like Resident Evil or even Outlast. You will see very little of them, and we are very careful not to overuse them. Now, most creatures will only appear in one or two specific locations, and they won't always be threats, which is rather interesting. You'll actually sometimes need to help their progress." And he went on to say, quote, "We hope this gives a sense of paranoia, as you're unsure how to approach monsters you encounter. Finally, the creatures also have different rules you need to figure out. Some cannot be looked at, others only go by sound, and so forth. So not only do you not know if the creature is dangerous or not, you also need to make sure you engage them in the right way." Which all sounds pretty damn awesome, to be honest. Now, I've said this before, but Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs was quite disappointing for me. Now, obviously, it wasn't actually properly developed by Frictional, just kind of oversaw by them. Instead, it was developed by the Chinese room, the guys behind Dear Esther, and graphically that game was gorgeous, and it wasn't a bad game by any means. I just found it not that scary. Not really. The moments of horror were actually far and few between. So it seems like SOMA is going very much back to the Amnesia style of things. Now, of course, they did say that you won't see the enemies very often, but in all fairness, that was the case in Amnesia, but it still kept the tension high enough to make it interesting. Now, adding these different elements of, is this monster even dangerous, or is this a new monster? What rules does this monster have? How am I supposed to deal with it? That adds a whole new element of fear. As of course, with Amnesia, once you kind of got a grip of how to deal with the monsters, they did lose a smidge of their fear. Because, well, at the end of the day, all you need to do is hide in a cupboard or, somewhere like that, and eventually the monster will despawn and go away, and you can continue on your merry way. Now, some monsters didn't despawn, of course, but even then, if you just keep hiding as you go along, you'll be fine. So it seems like they're trying to tackle that problem with these changes to SOMA, and the more I hear about SOMA, the more I want them to say when it's coming out. All we know is that it's coming out for PC, Linux, Mac, and PS4 in this year. They literally have not said even a vague release window, but I'm really looking forward to this. Hopefully it's an improvement over A Machine for Pigs, and hopefully they can sort out some of the problems that were in Amnesia: Dark Descent, and it really sounds like they're trying to do what they already did once, and that's bring something new and fresh to the horror genre, which could definitely be good. This has been a better time for horror games recently. Of course, we've had Alien Isolation, which was fantastic, and of course we've had various indie successes. Of course, Slender's kind of come and gone, but we did have that. Then we have Five Nights at Freddy's, of course, and a few other titles as well. It's not quite as big as it was with Amnesia, it was still in its heyday, so I think SOMA could not come a moment too soon. So, do let me know your thoughts and opinions on anything I've discussed in this video, and I'll see you next time.